everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me, and it's an autumn leaves inspired look, and it's also going to be a first impression on some new products that I've purchased recently. So I'm going to start off with the Lorac behind the scenes eye primer, and I'm just going to put that all over my lids using my finger. Next I'm going to take a MAC 227 and Brulee eyeshadow, and I'm going to apply that all over my brow bone and a little bit into the crease, and that's going to help with my eyeshadows blending. Next I'm going to take soft brown from the MAC Brooke Shields Gravitas eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to apply that with a Sigma Tapered Blending E35 brush into the crease as my transition colour, and I'm just roughly applying that. I'm not being particularly precise, I just want to get some colour there, so when I put the other shades on they all blend together nicely. Now I'm going in with Luscious from the same palette on a new brush from Real Techniques, and it's the NYX Picks collection, and it's the base shadow brush. I did find this a bit fluffy for packing on this particular eyeshadow, as it had quite a lot of fallout. That's why I'm having to wipe it with my finger. So in a minute I move on to using the Model Zone flat shader brush. However, I do quite like this one maybe for blending instead. As you can see, this eyeshadow is a really lovely copper colour, perfect for the autumn. It kind of reminds me of the leaves that fall off the trees. As you can see, I'm just applying that to the inner half of my lid, as I'm going to be applying a darker, more red toned colour to the outer half. And for that I'm going to use Antiqued from the same palette, and I've just flipped over the brush to use the other side, and I'm applying that in the outer half of the eye and blending it in with Luscious. I'm just going to flip the brush backward and forward to blend the two colours together. These colours are really great for bringing out blue and green eyes. I think they really make my eyes stand out, that's why I really like wearing them. And both of them just remind me so much of autumn. That's kind of why I decided to call this an autumn leaves look. Now I'm just going in with that E35 again with no extra product on it, and I'm just blending out any harsh lines. Now I'm taking a eyeshadow from L'Oreal. It's one of their new ones. I think it's number 106, and I'm just using that on the same E35 brush and just applying that in the outer corner just to deepen it and to help blend out that darker colour. Now I'm moving on to my face. I'm doing things in a bit of a random order in this video, and I'm using the Murad Blemish and Shine Control Primer just on my nose and my forehead. Then I'm going to take the L'Oreal Lumi Magique Primer, and I'm going to apply that to my cheeks. This is a new primer to me, I haven't used it before, and I quite like it. I find that my cheeks can look a bit dull throughout the day, and this really helped to just keep them looking nice and glowy. As you can see, that adds a really nice glow on my cheekbone. That's what that face was. I was shocked at how glowy it was. Now I'm going to go in with the Max Factor Whipped Cream Foundation, and I wear the shade 40 Ivory, and I'm just dotting some of this all over my face, and then I'm going to blend it in using a Sigma F80 sprayed with a little bit of Fix Plus. This is a really lovely foundation for me, as it keeps my skin looking a little bit kind of glowy, but it's still matte in the places that I need it. I really like this foundation, and it's quite a good colour match for me. It looks a little bit pale now, but once I've added everything else to my face, it kind of blends in, and it also oxidises the tiniest bit throughout the day, so it does look a bit darker by the end of the day, but it is a lovely foundation. Now I'm going in with the Bourjois CC Eye Cream Concealer thing, and I'm just applying that under my eyes straight from the tube, and I'm going to blend that in using one of the Sigma Precision Sigmax brushes. I can't remember what the number is, but I'll put it in the description bar, and it's just the angled one. I've been liking using this for concealer recently because I can get right up close to my lower lash line, so to get rid of any redness or anything there. And I also sprayed that brush with a little bit of Fix Plus, as I find it helps the concealer go on nicer, and it stops it from being cakey. And then after I've done that, I just blend it in with my fingers just to make sure it's nice and flawless. Now I'm going to go in with an eyeshadow from my Inglot palette, and it's the number 419. It's just a nice olivey kind of eyeshadow, and I used a Sigma E15 flat definer just to apply that to the outer half of my lower lash line. I could have used the green from the MAC eyeshadow palette, but for some reason I just wanted to use this one. The one from the palette is called Psyche, so if you have the palette you could use that one. Next I'm going in with a lovely brighter green from the Wet n Wild, is it the Comfort Zone palette? I think that's what it's called, and I'm just applying that to the inner half of my lower lash line just to brighten it up a little bit. So the greens are kind of the leaves just before they've, you know, changed colour, and then the other colours are more autumny colours, I guess. And now I'm just blending out those two colours using a MAC 219 pencil brush and soft brown. And then for my highlight shade, I'm using Pretty from that same MAC palette, and I'm using this on another new Real Techniques brush, and this is the angled shadow brush. I really liked this for applying my highlighters. It's quite fluffy, so it doesn't make it look too harsh or anything. It kind of blends it out nicely. Now I'm going to set the concealer under my eyes using the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Diffused Light, and I'm using my Hakuhodo small tapered face brush just to apply that. And I threw the brush on the floor twice. Now I'm just spraying a bit of the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray and fanning myself to make it dry so I don't end up with wet splodges all over my face. Next I'm going back in with the same Ambient Lighting Powder in Diffused Light and the Real Techniques Duo Fibre Face Brush, and I'm just lightly setting my foundation using that so I look nice and glowy but not cakey. Now I'm going to go in with NYX Taupe Blush, and I think I'm using a MAC 109 to apply that, and I'm pulling a fishy face and I'm contouring my cheekbones, as I don't naturally have very many, that doesn't make sense, as I don't naturally have sort of standing out, sticky outy cheekbones, so I have to fake them. And I'm just applying a little bit under my chin to kind of slim my face down a little bit, and then I'm going to also apply it to my temples just so it all looks even and it doesn't look like I've just contoured in one place. I never really contour my nose, as I quite like the shape of my nose, so I don't find that I have to do that. And now I'm going in with, I think it's Incandescent Light from the Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette, and I'm using a Real Techniques contour brush just to highlight my cheekbones and just above my eyebrow. And then for blush, I'm using the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in Exposed, and I'm applying that with the final brush from the NYX Picks collection, and it's the cheek brush. And as you can see, I'm just applying that to my apples of my cheeks and then blending backwards. I really love this brush for blush. That's difficult to say. And now I'm just blending it out using that geofibre brush just to make sure there's no harsh lines and everything's blended nicely. And now we're moving on to eyebrows, as I feel I look really strange without my eyebrows being drawn in. And I'm just brushing them through with a spoolie, and then I'm going in with the Soap and Glory Archery. This is the original one with the sort of thicker pencil bit at the end. I find I can use this one quite easily, as you can see my eyebrows are quite thick, so I don't need to do too much to them. I just kind of like to tidy them up a little bit. Then brushing through again with the spoolie, and then I'm going to go in with another new product, and it's the L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper, and I have the shade light medium even. When I first saw this, I thought it looked a bit warm toned for me. Usually I prefer cooler toned brow powders and things, but I think it worked quite well actually. It kind of goes well with my red hair. Now I'm going in with MAC Black Track Fluid Line, and now I'm using the final brush from the NYX Picks collection. It's the eyeliner brush, and I really love this for applying my eyeliner. It's a duo fibre brush, and I think it would just be, I don't know, it just was really nice. It's the best eyeliner brush I've used, I think, and it made kind of winging it out slightly at the end a lot easier. So I'm just doing a thin line along my lash line, and I'm just winging it out ever so lightly just to pull my eye shape up a bit, as I find they can look a little bit droopy sometimes. So this brush is nice and stiff, I suppose. It's not too, what's the word? I don't know, it holds its shape nicely, so it's easy to draw a line, especially maybe if you're a beginner. I think it would be easy to use this brush to do gel eyeliner. Now I'm going in with the, I'm curling my eyelashes first, which I nearly forgot to do, and I think these are the Space NK eyelash curlers. I quite like these, they're really good. And now I'm going to go in with the Benefit They're Real mascara. This is a little mini sample I think I got in a beauty box or something like that. So I'm just applying that to my lashes, and I'm going to do 2 coats of that to make sure my lashes look nice and full and voluminous. I find it really hard to put this mascara on with the tiny little wand because it's a sample. I really like the full size of this, but I'm kind of taking my time so I don't get mascara everywhere, which I tend to do quite regularly. As you can see, it just makes my lashes look really long and thick, and I guess like false lashes, I suppose. And then on my bottom lashes, I'm going to use my Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara. I'm kind of running out of this at the moment, so it doesn't show up all too well. But I really love this for bottom lashes, as it doesn't smudge at all during the day. And finally onto lips, I'm going to use a NARS lipstick, and it's in the colour Dolce Vita. This is a little sample I think I got in like a Sephora favourites or something. And this is just a really nice natural colour, sort of pinky toned my lips but better. And it's quite sheer as well, as the eyes are kind of, they're a bit more dramatic. Now remember to focus the camera properly, Vanessa. So this is what the finished look looks like. It's just kind of autumny colours and a neutral lip. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!